Hello, welcome to the latest episode of the Weapons of War podcast. And as usual, I'm your host, Eden Chonde. Today, I come bearing good news that we, the people, are winning the war against Ebola. We are winning the propagandists. And how am I able to tell this? There are telltale signs that show that we are winning. This humongous propaganda machine is losing the war on trying to deceive the people that, hey, Ebola is too much, Ebola is too much. The fear mongering has failed to land. And here are the signs. But before we get into the sign for the day, allow me to build up into it. So over time, we have seen, especially the arts industry, that's music and drama especially, they have defined all told events according to what is on ground. Through the arts and drama, we have been able to tell what is exactly the pulse within the society regarding various issues. They could be political, they could be health, they could be economic. The arts industry always captures the pulse of what's going on. And I'll back it up a bit. Remember, those who are around in the early to mid 90s, when the AIDS epidemic was at its peak. I remember the late Philip Bongo retire coming up with that hit single of the time, that's Alone and Frightened, the song that captured exactly what the disease was doing to the people, all how the society and the community, or Ugandans felt about the disease, how it left hopelessness all over, how the sufferers felt alone and frightened. Not only the sufferers, but also those associated, their friends, their family, how it destroyed friendships, and said all he needed was a hug, friendship, love. But all those things were in scarcity when AIDS was at its peak. But that song there, Alone and Frightened, even up to today, whenever we get to 1st December, World AIDS Day, you still hear that song from way back. That's how it captured the moment and what the disease was doing to the people, and how the people, or the Ugandan community, felt about it. And two, still around about in the 90s, still talking about the arts and how they captured the feelings and the pulse of the community in which they usually operate. I remember still about in the 90s, again about AIDS, the Bakaimbia drama actors came up with that signature, drama of theirs that they do with it, about this uncle who came from abroad, was warned about the rampant AIDS in Uganda, but well, he never listened to the warning signs, and he caught the virus and spread it through his family and all that. So that drama by the Wakaimbia drama actors also captured the instance of the day, how AIDS was being spread and how it was destroying families. That was, of course, Andrew Benon Chibuka, Siansa Sekubuge, and Aloysius Matovijoy, the three giants of Ugandan theatre that came up with it. So you find that in that time when AIDS was at peak, again the arts industry captured the instance of the time. That's Alone and Frightened, Philip Bongo, and then there was the Bakaimbia drama actors with their signature, drama, that's Ndudia. Fast forward during the COVID era, when COVID had just started, the lockdown especially, you remember that hit song by Monji, Bintwala. Loneliness, Bintwala. What, it also captured the hopelessness of the time, how people are so broke. He talked about how in his comical way, how he used to use Sensodyne, but now he uses Derident, how, it was only posho, bazuka kumacha kukuba misota. Kuba misota means you're idle. They wake up to sleep. and then sleep to wake up to sleep. It showed the despondence within society. You understand? But then you realize that for me the major takeout there is that while with Alone and Frightened and the Bakandia drama actors of the 90s with their drama of Hollywood, they talked about the disease and how it was destroying the society. When it comes to being Twala, his main focus wasn't exactly COVID, it was the lockdowns. Talking about non-essential workers, how is it there? You understand? It was about the effects of the lockdowns, the effects of curfew, those are the ones talked about, not entirely COVID, which meant that the measures that were being put in place to fight COVID were more destructive than the COVID itself. You understand? So again, so Munji captured the moment of the time when lockdown that had just been instituted. Just waking up, doing nothing, idleness, hopeless, just eating posho. The birthdays, instead of cakes, it was posho and each candlestick on top. Etc. Then, towards the end of that COVID era, again, another artist comes up with a song that was, I think, was called Easy, and it was Tumbiza Sound. Remember DJ Tumbiza Sound? That song, what muri lockdown, if we moving down DJ, then there's and Tumbiza Sound. It also captured now that people were no longer fearful of it. They're like, no, enough of the corner jazz. We have moved on. We need to move on with our lives. Those curfew things, enough of that. He was saying that if there's curfew, let curfew find us in the bar. They look and see up to morning. If it's quarantine us here in our 14 days, we have our fun. So it was a song that captured the instance of the people, of the community at the time, that enough was enough. We needed to move on with our lives. That this corner thing had gotten to, they had gotten to the end of it. Enough, now whatever. The curfews, the masks, if you want them, you have them as we continue with our lives. Understand? So I remember, I think Minister Wells called him in to do a re-edit, but that wasn't to be. The mood at the time, he captured it so well that the society had moved on from the fear mongering. So fast forward to today, why am I saying that we, the people, are defeating the propaganda Ebola machine? Again, I pick it from a skit I saw of two comedians. Actually, I don't know even their names, but they captured how, the community or the people's feelings about this entire Ebola outbreak, hysteria. And that is about eating money. It's about going to these global organizations speaking money, and the entities that are picking the money are coming here to enjoy. They are selling a catastrophic story out there that we are poor, Ebola is wreaking havoc, we need 90 billion. And in true, comedy style, they say the 90 billion is for buying masks, for buying jerry cans, for buying sanitizers, and teaching Ugandans to wave. Because Ugandans are so, I think, used to handshakes and hugs. Now they have to teach us to wave. It was in true comical style, comedy style, but it captured the people's sentiments at the moment. People have refused to believe those fear-mongering things. So, anyway, without further ado, I want you to have a look at this skit, and then we shall continue from here.
So tell me, like you've told me, like you guys have too much Ebola in Uganda. So we need to know, is there World Health Organization regarding how can we help over there?
In Uganda, we are suffering a lot.
A lot?
Yes,
okay.
A lot.
Okay.
We are in the quarantine. We can't move because of Ebola.
Because no moving?
Yes, no moving.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yes.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
And all schools are soon to be closed because of Ebola.
Schools, because of Ebola.
Yes.
Another countries can be lose. We're getting killed.
Suffering a lot. Cases are increasing every day and night. Every day and night.
Okay. We got it.
Yes, we need help.
You need hope. Okay. Let me do some kid over here. hello, over. It can be just right as a library. Okay, like all our visitors, like coming from Uganda, for it to be in quarantine in 34 days, so to make sure that we get no sort of probability Ebola in Uganda is too much and it's terrifying. So we can just break it, a so you record that. Ever. So, how much do you need?
We need 90 billion. 90 billion.
So that because we need you guys to prevent,
to
so
prevent
that people don't come,
yes,
like in other countries.
Yes, because we have to buy sanitizers.
Okay, sanitizers. Okay.
We have to teach Ugandans to wave.
Or teach them how to wave.
Yes,
wow, you need to teach them how to wave.
Yes,
they don't know.
They don't know.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to buy jerrycans and soap.
Jerrycans and soap.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Immediately before you do that, we just worry the money.
Thank you.
Bank of Uganda?
The Bank of Uganda.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Process it.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
But again, was a reminder that.
Yeah.
Again, it was working. Was working. Ebola. Keeping Uganda. Will be coming with you. Ebola. Keep working about it.
Yeah, it will go.
Okay, bro.
Thank you for helping the poor.
Bye. Yeah. God bless you for that. Okay, so.
Sijalala siku mbili zimepita, wote matangaiko
So that was it. They captured this. So that is the sentiment on ground. They captured this so well. People know this about it. It's about people who want to finish their arcades, who want to, invest wherever they want to invest, and they're they're trying to spread this catastrophic story in order to draw in more money. So they can't fool anyone that, that there's a disease. In the 1990s, you couldn't tell someone that there's no disease. Everyone was saying it. It was in famines. People are dying. People are dropping the disease. No one had to be fooled. Perhaps the debate was, where was it coming from? But the disease was there. It was undeniable. Today, I know everyone knows it's about it. It's about the money. And that's why you keep seeing certain headlines by World Health Organization announcing 580 million 6-month plan to fight Ebola. When it announces that, who doesn't want to tap into that kit? 580 million. Who doesn't want to tap into that? Anyway, that's a telltale sign that we are winning when the arts industry starts to pick up on the pulse, on the feelings of the community, and they start to bring them up in form of art. So for me, that was a telltale sign. That is a very, very huge sign that we are winning this war against this Ebola propaganda machine and the hysteria they're trying to create. We are not falling for it. It has failed to land. And two, why I am sure we are winning. Whenever the media or all these experts fail to counter certain arguments, they resort to their default settings. The default settings of shutting up debate or discussion. How do they shut up debate and discussion? By labeling people or labeling subject matters. There's this CNN lady who went to Congo to interview, ladies, I think, in the markets and, on the roadsides about the Ebola situation. The ladies were defiant. No, for us, we don't believe in those things. We don't go to hospital. We know that things coming from the West. It is so. In typical style, she called it conspiracy theory. And guess what? The media started, misinformation. The standard digital of Kenya, misinformation. And then the Citizen TV Kenya also saw, no Ebola here, misinformation, stalls response. No, misinformation. Whenever they go misinformation, is to label a certain argument so that whoever would have listened to that argument, no, that's misinformation. They disregard it even without listening to it. So labeling is one of their tactics of shutting up debate. And that one is an Ebola denier. That one is a COVID denier. That one is a vax denier. They call you a denier so that people don't even give you audience to listen to your reasons. So they just label you. And that's what now they are doing. Labeling. No, label that one. That one is a denier. Label them. And then to show that we are winning this war, they are also becoming a little more desperate. There is this article I saw. It shocked me how it was like on June 10th that Lira Hospital urges vigilance after suspected Ebola patients dies of liver failure. Suspected Ebola patient dies of liver failure. So a person dies of liver failure, but you suspect Ebola. And here is the killer that while laboratory results returned on June 7th confirmed that the patient was free of Ebola, his condition deteriorated. So you carried out laboratory tests to find out if the patient had Ebola. They returned negative, but you still insist this patient who died of liver failure died of Ebola. So everything now is about Ebola. It's suspect. Why bringing us even suspected cases? We suspect. Yeah, he died of liver failure. The results showed he was negative of Ebola, but we suspect. So, you see, it's because they still want to carry out this hysteria about people. Yes, suspect people, be on alert. But a person has died of something else. And remember that headline again in the month some time back during the COVID era that said I think over 80% of the COVID deaths had diabetes. So it's the same script they're repeating here, piling up numbers to drive hysteria. Then there's this one here. West Nile on alert as health officials warn of possible lockdown. Why would West Nile be lockdown? You see, lockdowns are usually advocated. The advocates of lockdowns are usually people who are not affected by lockdowns. These are people who are essential workers. For them, their lives will continue normally. They'll continue earning, they'll continue moving, they'll continue buying, they'll continue. Those are the people that usually advocate for lockdowns. People who are never affected by the consequences of their actions or decisions usually tend to be reckless. And these are the people, the experts, the possible lockdown, again trying to drive up the fear. But people are not fearful. That fear has refused to land. And I'm very, very, very glad on that. And perhaps lastly, we saw these headlines again in their desperate attempt to drive up fear. Remember the headlines about, I don't know why people thought that Al Jazeera was just missing it. When Al Jazeera was lumping Uganda with Congo to say Congo, Uganda, report 263 confirmed Ebola cases. Congo, Uganda. You saw those headlines. And then there was one of, I think, CDC, which talked about nearly 500 confirmed cases in Central Africa, Ebola outbreak. Do you know why there is in Congo, Uganda, Central Africa? They want it to appear on a large scale, again to drive up fear that this thing is big, it's on a larger scale. That's why they lump Uganda, Congo, when Uganda hasn't even had one Ugandan dying of Ebola. But they want to lump us there to show it's big, it has scattered beyond Congo. Now there's a Central Africa. Those are not mistakes. Those are the tactics they use to drive up fear. But the fear has refused to land. I so love the skit that I watched of these comedians capturing the exact essence or the exact feeling of the Ugandans in regard to this Ebola thing. We know people, it's about eating. It's about getting as much money, this $580 million kit that World Health Organization has announced. Everyone wants a piece of that. And how do you get a piece of it? By trying to drive up a crisis, catastrophic story. And that's that. But we are winning this one. The arts again at the front line of showing us what the vibrations are. The vibrations are people know there is no Ebola hysteria. People know it's about eating. All right, till next time.